Good evening and welcome to the program. This is the Limelight and my name is Prince Apollo. Now, so far, more than 15 people have been confirmed dead in a devastating fire that broke out after a fuel tanker overturned and exploded in areas of Chigogwa, Wakiso district. And sadly, this is not the first time we are experiencing such incidents in Uganda involving loss of lives in many numbers. And in the Limelight this evening, we explore the possibility of limiting damage, either on loss of lives and loss of property, because this incident reminds us of those times when we face catastrophes of this kind. On the show this evening, I host Walusimbi Eli, and Walusimbi Eli is a police officer, actually the community liaison officer from the Directorate of Fire Prevention and Rescue Services. We commonly call it Fire Brigade. I'm happy to have you on the show this evening.
Thank you, sir. And
let's go straight, Walusimbi. Let's talk about this particular incident involving a fuel tanker. Of course, it has fuel and it catches fire. Is it possible that with the necessary equipment, is it possible to limit the damage both on the lives of people and property?
All right, thank you very much for hosting me here. And whenever they research, you normally host us and then we give a light and then we guide people.
Good.
It was an unfortunate situation which happened at Chigogwa, and very many people have died. Others are still in critical condition. But it has been occurring in different times. Actually, we have many, but people which they know much about is this one of Namungona, but there's Busesa, there's Pambire, and so many others. But when it comes to hazardous materials or things which are very dangerous, in most cases people don't know, and they don't know what they're supposed to do. Actually, when it comes to be specific, that petroleum products, they are very deadly. One, the truck itself, which is carrying it, you are not supposed even to be like 2 meters away from it. You're supposed to be at least 5 meters when you are driving away from it.
Okay.
And you must make sure where you're going to overtake it, if it is safe to do so. Overtake it when you have really known that you can. And in a case like what happened to this one, in most cases they normally overturn due to the load they have. Like we estimate like this one, which overturned had like 12 to 14,000 liters, the capacity of fuel. And in most cases, if it's not well checked, they normally tend to have their own mechanical conditions if they are not checked. And also the fuel itself, when you are moving with a liquid in a container, it tends to be a little bit very dangerous in the process of shaking, and it can multiply the weight of the vehicle.
Or by the load shifting from one side to another side.
Yes.
Because it is liquid.
Yes. In most cases, a vehicle can overturn. It is very easy for a loaded truck to overturn. For this point, in the case of Chigogwa, it overturned due to some circumstances on the road. And it did not burn immediately. But what happened, the people themselves went and opened the tank. And the side where it overturned the side of the battery. And when it overturned, the batteries were squeezed on the tarmac, which means sparks were there. They were only waiting, because when a fire is to start, it needs only the 3 elements. One is the combustible material, source of heat, and oxygen, of which all the 3
were available.
They were available. The limiting factor was only that the fuel to pour on the battery, of which themselves they opened it. The moment when they opened, you saw those videos, those who captured some small videos, they got immediately. It is spilled over and then it started there and then. Yet if they had left it there, it was not going to burn. No. Even if it could start, the fire was not going to be big as that because the fuel was still in a container. And for any fuel to burn, it must first turn into vapor. Then it burns. But if it's still in a container and the fire is outside, it was going to be contained for some good hours. And then you could come, because we normally save such situations. Yes. But for this case, once they opened, vapor, you know, in shaking, there was a lot of vapor which had already accumulated. Then when they opened, it went. The fuel itself spilled. In the process of spilling, it created more vapor, which means the environment became more hazardous
and combustible.
Few meters away from the truck, there were people who were roasting maize, others cooking, others. So it was just a matter of time. Even if it was not the battery itself, the way it started on the truck, it was going to start later.
Okay.
Yes.
As serious as it was, with all the three elements available, and here we have a lot of fuel, we have fire, and the tanker, the fuel tanker explodes. I ask again, with the necessary equipment, with the necessary personnel like you and others, could it be possible to have this incident managed to limit casualties both on the side of lives of people and also property?
Yeah, first of all, the response. The area, we are encouraging such towns, they're supposed to be with what we call fire hydrants. That's one. Even if incidents happens and the fire brigade is not near, it is very easy to connect very fast on the nearby fire hydrant because they have national water within that town. But they only lack the point where to connect, and then they just pour water to cool the tank to neutralize the vapor, because what burns is the vapor. So once you pour water there, you neutralize and you reduce the risk of that tank to explode. Even if there would have been some small sparks, it would have reduced. Then two, immediately when it overturned, these people are supposed to evacuate 200 meters.
200 meters?
200 meters. And the worst scenario, it was on a slope, which means when 200 you need to add more because you could not know where the spillage was heading.
Okay.
That's one. Two, the equipments, even if they are readily available, those one if they are available, they're supposed to be with people who are trained. Personnels, of which those personnels are there. They're supposed to, because there is other, if it burns, there are other chemicals we add in the water, it's called the foam, so that they can capture or they can grab the vapor and they limit the oxygen supply, because the moment you pour that chemical on any flammable liquid, we call it flammable liquids, it will do three things. Since it is mixed with water, it will cool.
That formed foam mixed with water.
Yes, it will cool because there is water in it. There is that chemical, it will create what we call the bubbles, or that foam. It will grab the vapor and then to neutralize the situation. Then the oxygen supply will be limited because it will create what we call a blanket, foam blanket, and there will be no fire. That was the only
thing. So is it possible to stop, completely stop such a fire in case, like you said, the personnel is available and the equipment is available? Is it possible to stop a fuel tanker which has actually started burning? Yeah,
we have been doing it along this express. Vehicles have been overturning and we stop. Immediately when they call us, you go immediately. The moment the people are verified they have not tampered with the vehicle, you reach there, you pour foam everywhere. The moment you pour foam everywhere, then you neutralize the area. You study the environment, where the people, where the wind is going. In case if you are upwind, you have to know where are you going to position your people. If it is up, your people must be upwind. And the trucks are supposed to be in a position that they can evacuate. Then from there, when you have covered the entire area, then you embark on transferring fuel from the vehicle which has overturned to a vehicle which is okay. We normally do it.
Oh,
yes, we have that
is
capacity.
after the frames have died down.
Even if the frames have not yet started, but even if
you evacuate fuel.
No, what we do, we reach the situation, we reach at the scene, we power for immediately. The first thing you do, you cover the area so that you limit any slight chance of a spark.
Okay.
That's one thing you are supposed to do. Two, you are supposed to know that the people you have already, this one a powering form, actually the people are supposed to be extended more than 200 meters. Then the firefighters themselves are supposed to be well protected because what they are going to face, anything can happen. It is hazardous material. And once you are going to it is flammable, highly flammable. So you need to be knowing that what you are going to handle, it can happen. And we know the science how it burns. Because in most cases, once it burns vertical.
Oh.
So it doesn't, and in most cases, once it burns like that,
it goes up.
If there is no spill, but if there is spillage, it will follow. It will follow the line.
It will be a river of fire.
It will be now lateral. So you have to know that where is the spillage? Is it just all over? Okay. Is it following a certain trench? So you have to follow the way it will burn. And even if it is burning, also you follow the train, and then you push it back. You don't follow it. Yes, you push it back or you limit it at a certain point.
Wow.
Yes.
So from what you've explained, Walusimbi, there was no way the casualties, the damage could be limited because, one, you said there is need to evacuate the people to at least a radius of 200 meters.
Yes.
Yet, actually, there were many people congregated in the same area trying to siphon fuel.
Yes.
That was very bad. Then another thing, there were shops around in that instant of Chigogo, and people were still in their houses. They were in their shops. So let me ask you, in case before you arrive, you, the firefighters, before you arrive, what precautionary measures the residents must have taken to ensure that they limit loss of lives and loss of property?
One, communication. They're supposed to communicate to each other to evacuate.
Evacuation
was number one.
Okay.
Two, they were supposed to cut off the flow of the traffic.
Oh.
So that we don't have anything, maybe the truck is coming and then it scratches the ground and then to cause a problem. Everything was supposed to be stopped. Immediately when they could have done that, they would have communicated area to the police, nearby police, communicated to those leaders within the area, and then all effort would have been done. This one evacuating, this one communicating. In the process, they would have saved the situation. But I think there was no clear communication, and what we heard from the people who were there, that somebody who tried to communicate the driver, people did not listen to him. And then for them, they went ahead. But the moment such incident happens, the moment somebody tells you, leave whatever it is, even if it is what, just
even
go.
if it is a shop,
because
you are attending
leave
a
it
shop.
open and run away. Because what will happen next will take everything. That's why they call us firefighters. That is a war.
Evacuate.
Evacuate. And the moment you remain in the enemy territory, you know what can happen. So in most cases, they don't have such thing, and listening to each other sometimes disturbs people. They say, why? You have got opportunity. Let us also fetch this opportunity. So in most cases, such people, they are there. And that's why when you see a fuel tank and the forces have come, like army, police, they normally use force to move them out, to evacuate them or disperse them. That's what they do, because people sometimes they don't listen.
So the procedure is: one, evacuate.
Yes.
Two, block traffic.
Yes.
Or control traffic movement.
Yes.
Number three, alert the authorities, specifically, if possible, police, fire rescue services.
Yes.
And
there's all leaders who are concerned.
Isn't there a role that the citizens, the residents, can play in stopping the fire?
Yes,
I mean, besides doing what you've just said. Like, for instance, some of them may decide to either start pouring sand or what, or water on
Sand, even if you find it to anywhere, I normally see it on petrol station. It is not for fighting fire.
Hey.
Sand in the buckets you see in petrol station is for spillage.
Oh.
It is for spillage. When the fuel pours down, you pour that sand, then it will suck all that fuel which has and then you sweep it.
Not
But
for
when
stopping.
it comes to real flames, how are you going to apply application?
Oh.
Now you have 3 kilograms of sand.
Yeah, it's
you have
just
10,000
one bucket.
liters of fuel. Application and projection, how is it going to reach there? What work does it going to do? There is what we call sometimes a lucky mistake. People use it on a small fire and fire reduces. They think when it comes to a bigger fire it is possible. No, it is not. So in such situations, what they are supposed to do, if they had the sand, only to block the fuel where it was spilling in those trenches. You could get either soil or and block it so that it does not proceed. It remains within, if it was safe to do so. But if you see it is not safe to do so, just leave and make alarm and others go away. But otherwise, the people themselves, when you see such, or when you could see such a thing, your work was just your safety first as an individual.
First.
Your safety first. Even if it is your brother, your sister, or what, but your safety. Alert them. When you are alerting them, move away. Because what can happen, it happens almost, in most cases, in seconds.
Oh.
It's in seconds.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, how long does it take for instance, a fuel tank that has started, where fire has started, it takes for it to either explode and get to that
Most
levels.
of such fires, those are what we call explosive fires.
Okay, that window of opportunity to escape, how long could it
In
be?
most cases, the moment it lands down, don't wait any minute.
Sure.
Don't wait any minute, because the determinant factor in such situation is a spark, source of heat.
And the elements are there.
Everything is there.
Available.
Oxygen is within the space, fuel is there, it can
The
burn.
batteries or-
The determinant is the spark, and you don't know where it can come from.
Yeah, true.
So in most cases, the moment it has landed down and you are there, just take off.
Take off.
Just take off. Other things will follow. If like those people at the shops, they had just moved, leave everything there,
would
you
have
are going
limited the
you are limited the casualties. And the fuel also which entered inside there, and people were started fetching from there, that fuel has found them in their residences. Also, they were not going to get affected. Yes.
Let me now hear from you. Talk about the victims. For instance, it has happened, yes. People have, have been caught into that fire. Now you have victims who have wounds. Who I saw people whose skins were completely peeled off. What role can we do as residents? What can I do to help such a person? Well, you said I should take off, but if at all I still have a chance to help.
Yes.
What do I do?
One, the challenge is where there is a spillage of fuel. The radius, the danger, the one we call the red zone, because we zone them. Red zone, blue zone, and green zone. So the red zone, in such a situation, the amount of fuel, let's say it was like 12,000. The red zone was within the 20 meters. Anybody who was in 20 meters was in the red zone.
From the tank?
From the tank, because of the vapor. Even on the clothes that already grabbed, which means the entire clothes were already soaked and you are ready just to burn. Now, in such situation, if somebody maybe survives, the first thing you're supposed to do, just get water. Clean water, just pour on that person.
Power,
Clean water. Reason,
person.
because if somebody has got burnt, you reduce the movement of heat from other muscles which have not yet, affected. But if you leave it, it will continue burn inside the skin, and then you reduce what you are supposed to do. So what you do, pour water on that person, reduce the movement of it within the body.
Okay.
That's one thing.
Number two?
Two, just get a piece of, like a bed sheet, a blanket, cover that person, because the skin is the one which regulates the body heat. He has lost it, which means that person is going to begin having a lot of challenges.
Oh, it may result into hypothermia.
Yes, so in most cases, that person needs to be covered and taken to hospital immediately. That's one thing. Then, another one, you are not supposed to apply these other things because it can develop other things which are not okay. Because people have their own belief that once you get burnt, you get cooking oil, get this, get sugar, no. The moment you put that, it can create what we call a crust on the body, and you might end up damaging the skin and they cut it off. So the first thing, only water. Other things, take the hospital.
The person who is speaking is also a victim. Was at one point a victim, and he bears the scars of the fire he was trying to control. Speak about it in just 1 minute.
It was on 2010, March 5th. He went to rescue people like these ones of Chigogwa. A fuel tank overturned at Chitega, and we went. Indeed, we found when people are fetching fuel. When in such situation, you need to talk to people kindly because they can't do anything. We talked to them. After talking to them, they agreed the situation, told them it's okay, let us work as a team. We have the gadgets, we have the equipments, but we need your lives. They agreed, they extended. Immediately when they extended at night, it was around 2, it exploded at first, yes. It was carrying 58,000 liters of petrol. It exploded. We fought with the entire community to put off the fire, not to go to other residents. It was in Chitega, 2010 March. Then we contained up to morning. When we reached in the morning, now there was another mistake. People wanted to come and surround us because we were few, to come and take fuel. Because
really?
Yes. Again, we talked to them. So one person maneuvered and went where there is a compartment which had already swollen. He opened the compartment. In the process of the fuel, those fumes entered him. So we need our first line of defense, save the life. We went to rescue that person.
He survived.
Yes, we removed that person, but we realized the entire village, over 400 people, were going to die. So what we did, we went to close the compartment which has already. So we entered in that zone,
where the red zone.
Red zone, and we had to cover. Indeed, we covered the compartment. In the process of withdrawing, it exploded.
You became a victim.
So we were 3. We got burnt badly.
I can see you have scars right from your fingertips up to your face and hair.
Yes, we got burnt, but we survived by God's grace.
How long did it take for you to heal?
The whole of 2010.
That is the tragedy with the fires involving fuels. My name is Prince Apollo. One last word for the people there who want to rush for that quick fuel, free fuel.
I encourage these people, you people, whenever you see such emergency, just call Fire Brigade on 0800 12 12 22 and move away for your own safety.
Say it again, the number?
The number is 0800 12 12 22. That number is toll free line, every line. You just put it on the show, put it anywhere. When there is an emergency, just call.
You've heard from the horse's mouth, and he is Walusimbi Eli, the CRO, Directorate of Fire Prevention and Rescue Services in the Uganda Police. My name is Prince Apollo. Hope you know what to do in case it happens, because I know it will happen again. I don't know when, but well, you know what to do. The first thing, get off or take off. Good evening. Let's catch up again next Friday, and we hope between now and then we will not have any incident. Good evening. From here, we're going to Msinji, and other programs are coming up. Good evening. God bless you. God bless Uganda.